Could you call her Matt?
Sad mad.
Oh,
Sam, are you sad or mad?
I'm fine.
Oh,
This is Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff. Full barn tonight. Full barn.
well, not really full barn. Depends on Sam's participation. She may be boycotting us.
Depends on if anyone wants me to participate.
Nobody said we didn't. We're just trying to hold you accountable for your story.
Nate doesn't want me to participate.
I want to get go. You can jump in later with a snippet if you want.
Sam's snippet may involve lines of high state fans and less than stellar customer service. But today is Monday, December 11th, and it's the week of the backup quarterback in the NFL. We
And
now
even
have a Heisman winner,
Ugh.
and those brand new Lions are starting to look a hell of a lot like those old Haggard Lions.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like a Scooby-Doo episode.
Yeah.
Don't forget, everyone, to join our Bowl Pick'em that will be highlighted in our socials this week prior to the first game on December 16th. Prizes, all sorts of prizes.
Prizes.
We're going to have prizes for the winner and lots of fun as the degenerates of sports stuff, betting stuff will get into their calls against every spread in every bowl game this week in the betting show that will be coming out on Thursday. Get in on the Bowl Pick'em action. That includes you, Sam.
It does.
You want to pick some teams?
Well, we
Yep.
try to get you when we ask you for it, you don't say anything.
How are you going to pick your teams?
I don't understand.
You're just picking winners.
Okay, I'll pick winners.
And as always, you can interact with the social media at Sports Jim Muff on Instagram and Twitter, Sports Stuff W/Jim Ampersand Muff on Facebook, on YouTube. Subscribe, comment, rate, review, poke like.
Get the bell on.
Ding ding.
Tickle, 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 all the way to a Bowl Pick'em winner. Just for reference, Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff. Muff had to be spelled M-U-P-H because M-U-F-F is against ESPN's guidelines.
You know, I think we should look up the definition of muff. Honestly, I'm going to do that right now as we speak.
Okay.
Definition.
I think we know that definition, don't we, Samantha?
Whoa,
Yeah,
whoa.
Oh, that took
No,
a
there's a backstory that doesn't involve me.
I bet there is.
Does it
And I
involve
don't want
me?
to.
Does it involve you?
No, it involves your grandmother.
Oh God.
This is getting out of hand.
This is getting an explicit rating and no one's even said the F word yet.
So one time my grandma got a Christmas card in the mail. I'm pretty sure this is how it happened. And it was these like figure skaters or something on the front. I don't know. And they had their hands in one of the like fuzzy hand muff things.
Right. A tube made of fur or other warm material into which hands are placed for
Yep.
warmth.
So my grandma yells out, "Oh, a muff! I used to have one of those." Meaning the little hand warmer thing. My entire family, being the people that we are, took it as the other type of muff.
What other type is that?
The man sitting in front of us?
The type that is on a female.
Boys have a penis and girls have a vagina.
Yeah.
And a vagina is also called a muff.
A muff. And so then we had to explain to my grandma.
Do you mean a mistake or failure, especially a failure to catch or receive a ball cleanly?
I mean, it could be that type of muff as well. I don't know.
Or a person who is awkward or stupid, especially in relation to a sport or manual skill?
That's me.
You've always had a muff in your family, Sam.
Yep.
So can Nate just call you Muff, a muff?
I mean, I think that might be kind of derogatory.
Oh. I
But
should
we
be
can call Muff Muff? That's
should
so nice.
I should be offended.
People, if people heard you saying that, hey Muff, what's up? Like to a woman, they're gonna think it's
It's a hand warmer?
No, they're gonna think that you're out in public going, hey vagina, what's up?
Oh, she said it. She
I
said
said
it,
it.
folks.
You said vagina.
Virgina.
All right, let's lead it off as Jaden Daniels.
That's the
is
segue?
Your Heisman winner, earning
Speaking
the
of vaginas, let's talk about the Heisman.
Michael Penix Jr., Bo Nix, and Marvin Harrison Jr. in New York on Saturday night.
What a crock of shit.
Oh, imagine this.
Disagree.
Crock.
What, are you talking about the opener when RG3 said you have to announce it? Big Penix energy.
It is horse shite.
What's horseshit, Jim?
This kid should have never won that Heisman.
I think I disagree.
We know you've been gunning for this kid since the start. I
I
get
know.
it.
Sorry that my person won.
It's horse shit.
Well, why is it horseshit, Jim? Who should have won?
How many losses did he have?
That doesn't talk. That's not the criteria for the Heisman.
Jim, they were even talking about it before. Lamar was in the same boat.
What do you mean?
When he won the Heisman, Jim.
When
in
Lamar
Louisville.
won the Heisman, he was on a 3-loss Louisville team.
I don't agree with him winning it. I didn't
At
realize
least he's
he
on a
is.
3-loss LSU team.
It's trash. Both of them winning it is trash.
Both of them
probably
winning it?
should have won it.
What?
Penix probably should have won it.
The guy that you said should never be in consideration.
Yeah.
I mean, of the four there, I would have taken.
So it
Penix.
always
He's
goes
still
to
in
an
the
undefeated.
playoffs.
It always goes to an undefeated playoff team.
I would have taken a playoff contender.
He of the only one of that group,
Give it to him.
just because they're in the playoffs. So it no longer becomes the Heisman Trophy; it becomes the College Football Playoff Trophy.
So you're so good. You are the player in college football. Watching the championship be won without you.
Well, again, this is like the college version of the MVP award. It's not necessarily the
So you're
best
the
player
MVP
on the best
on the
team.
sidelines.
That the MVP in the NBA can also go to the person who doesn't make the playoffs potentially, Jim.
That doesn't mean it makes
Same
sense.
thing for the NFL. It's a regular season outstanding award.
Your regular season consisted of you not making it. You
Of
did
your
not do enough in the
team.
regular season.
Your team not making it as a
You're the
person
most valuable player on your team,
on any team, in fact.
and your team can't even make it. Hell,
Without
couldn't even
him,
win
his
your-
team would not have done anything.
couldn't even win your conference championship.
Oh, well, that's good because Marvin Harrison Jr. won the Bolitnikoff Award on a non-conference championship team when he had
And
worse numbers than
What
others.
is that award?
The most outstanding wide receiver, which by your estimation should mean that Roman Dunze from Washington should have won it.
Is he statistically better?
I believe
He's on a
there's-
better team.
He's on a better
No,
team.
that's not the team award.
Neither is the
The
Heisman.
wide
The
receiver.
Heisman's not a team award.
He's the most valuable player in college football. Is the
Okay,
That's not
he
a
is the
team.
most valuable wide receiver in college football. How is this different?
It's not the most valuable wide receiver. It's the best wide receiver.
And this is the best player.
This is the most-
Marvin Harrison didn't even have the best stats.
Then he shouldn't have won it.
Malik Neighbors did from LSU.
Then he should have won it because it's the best stats, the best
Then-
wide receiver in the league.
Then Jane Daniels.
This guy's
had
the best
stats.
overall player. He's obviously not because they're not in the championship.
Without
One
him,
player
what
doesn't make a
happens?
team.
Should not have won it.
So how do you feel about the guy from, or what's his name? Ollie Gordon from Oklahoma State went in the, what's the one for running backs?
Did he have the best stats?
I think he had the most rushing yards in the nation this year.
Did he have the best stats?
I don't know about carries, touchdowns, all that. I just saw he had the most rushing yards at like 1,600.
All those position awards, if they have the highest stats, they win the award. The Heisman is you are the man of men, the top dog, the king cheese, the
Who
big
should-
kahuna.
Who should have won this award then?
You already said Michael Penix.
He was not, in your estimation, the most outstanding player in college football.
No. Fuck no.
So how do you judge most outstanding? That's what I need to know.
The
Like, that's what the world
guy
needs to know.
that brings his team to the dance.
So even if that
Outstanding
quarterback
or-
has terrible stats, JJ McCarthy on Michigan then should be higher than Bo Nix, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Jane Daniels.
Yes.
So the Heisman Trophy
Yes.
is the Heisman Trophy is annually rewarded to the most outstanding college football player. If the Blitnikoff is the most outstanding wide receiver,
But that's not it. Read that. If you want to read it, read it.
the most outstanding college football player in the United States whose performance epitomizes great ability
That's
combined
the
with
Heisman, correct?
yes, combined with diligence, perseverance, and hard work.
Nothing
So,
about the team.
yes. So Daniels has amazing statistics.
Okay.
So he has shown that he has.
What is
great
the other?
ability.
What is the other criteria?
I don't know. That's what the one I read. Let me
Please
click.
share that shit. Let's
Well,
bring
Jim,
it out
why
there
don't
to
you
the
say it
audience.
since
It's
you
just the
have it?
NBC Sports.
I will do it. Hold on.
What, you don't even know it? You have to look it up?
Well, he's citing it verbatim with words.
So while
Yeah,
you're
I'm looking it up.
him, where would you have put Jaden Daniels out of that top 4? Where'd you have ranked him?
Fourth.
Fourth?
What would have been your top 4?
Of
Obviously,
those
Penix
four,
1 and 4. Who would have been 2 and 3 between Nix and Harrison?
Harrison was third.
Go ahead, Jim. I mean, you have this
I'm
queued up.
trying
You're
to
ready
Google
to
it.
go.
I did not.
I mean,
have
this
it
sounds
ready
like
to go.
you have been researching this for weeks, just waiting.
Muff,
for
I
this
just have my
moment.
opinion. This is what I do. I
Your
don't,
opinion has to be backed up by something.
yeah, no, it doesn't. It's just my. This is not that kind of show, and you know this, you ass.
All right. So Jordan Travis also received votes. Jalen Miller, Ollie Gordon, Cody Schrader, Blake Corum, and JJ McCarthy, each of them receiving at least one first place vote.
I had to laugh at something I saw that I think it was Florida State's Twitter account shared. Congratulations to Jordan Travis finishing 5th and the Heisman voting. Someone reshared it and said, "Oh, now you're happy you got 5th?"
That's
The
pretty
Heisman Trophy is presented to people before the postseason bowl games with
Yes, good.
outstanding performance,
good.
which best exhibits pursuit of excellence with integrity.
Good.
Winners, well, that JJ McCarthy's out. Exhibits with integrity. Winners
Winners of the
epitomize-
trophy, not winners.
epitomize great ability combined with diligence, perseverance, and hard work.
So what Alex just said, got it.
Great ability. Well, if you didn't win, you don't have great ability. You're out.
Great
I see,
individual
that's
ability. This is an
what
individual
yours-
award. It's not
as long
team
as what you understand that what you're saying is 100% subjective in your opinion, that's fine. It is not fact that great ability is only stating that your team must win games.
And also, it's not statistical. Nothing in here says statistical, which is what you keep throwing around.
Because I think that his ability as a player, not as a team, his ability as a player, because it's a player award, not a team award.
So his stats are
Use
better,
his
therefore he wins.
statistics. What?
So you're saying using his stats, therefore he wins.
I think that if you look at his stats, and yeah, I think that's a very solid argument.
And I'll
If
say his
someone
win
had-
record
If
is
somebody
also
had
just as solid.
if somebody had comparable stats to him, then I would say, okay, look at the overall, where did you get your team? Or if he was on a team that only won 2 games, he's in the SEC and lost 3 games.
I will
it's
look
not-
at his perseverance through his win record to judge his perseverance, and his perseverance has losses. Therefore, he did not persevere and win the game for
Who
his
was
team.
LSU's losses to this year?
I don't give a shit. He lost. Therefore, he did not persevere.
I'll look
Marvin
that up.
Harrison
I
lost.
know they lost
Therefore,
to
he did
Florida
not
State.
persevere.
He did not persevere.
I just flung the rubber band at the computer, and I know it's not hitting you, but it hit you in my mind.
JJ McCarthy and Blake
I'm
Corum
mature.
have persevered. I would say more than anybody else on this list.
Oh dear.
Okay.
No, I don't think any of the other guys deserved to go to New York.
But
this
they
year.
persevered because they're undefeated.
That just means that they won.
All right, Alex, here you go. So LSU's losses this year were to Florida State,
With Jordan Travis.
With Jordan Travis, yes.
Ole Miss,
Okay.
Mm.
Top 10, 12 team.
I think
Alabama.
I was going to say Georgia or Bama. I mean, Alabama and Florida State with Jordan Travis are not bad losses.
He didn't persevere, did he?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, because he kept playing.
He didn't stop, Jim.
He did
He
not
didn't-
push.
He
his
didn't
team.
quit when he lost. He kept playing the rest of the games.
He didn't push his team
Oh my gosh.
through the adversity of the opposing
We'll move
team.
on. I can't. This is an opinion thing, and we're never going to come to an answer. It's just going to be us arguing our opinions back and forth until eternity.
Well, he had great stats. Okay.
And you
Oh,
can
he had
and
in
he-
fact
nope.
legendary.
he lost
stats.
3 games. Okay.
Who did he play against?
It's an opinion.
The SEC.
Who did what was his other schools he played against, Nate?
Hold on. I just exited out, but I'll pull back up.
Who else did Marvin
West
Harrison Jr.
Liberty
play against?
University.
Who else did Ohio State play against?
I'm not
Crickets?
vouching for Marvin Harrison.
But I'm saying all of these players had these games where they had this opportunity. Washington
And I'm not
did.
throwing
Oregon
stats
did.
around.
All right, here you go, Jim. So wins for LSU this year: Grambling,
Oh, got killer stats there, I bet.
Mississippi State, Arkansas,
Killer stats that Arkansas game.
Missouri,
Okay.
Auburn, Army, Florida, Georgia State, Texas A&M.
What was that last game they played this season where he padded his fucking stats?
Texas A&M.
Yeah.
You can say that's a Pat statter.
That's what they put him in there for.
Pat
They
Stat-
said it.
Wait.
I got you.
This is
Yeah.
our this is our segue out of this.
Pat
Muff just
Statter.
said Pat Statter. This is like whenever we did quick thoughts and I hit the
So
buzzer.
that last game, Jim,
Buzzer
he
on
was
this
16
argument.
of 24 for 235 and 4 touchdowns.
That was not even a good game for him.
And he carried the ball 11 times for 128 yards.
Not a good game for him, huh?
That's weak sauce. He needed to
Okay.
get 300 yards.
Shouldn't have won it.
How'd Marvin Harrison do against Michigan?
I don't know why you keep throwing that up here, Muff, because it's not even. I already ranked him as not shouldn't have had it.
Right,
He's a
but you,
loser, therefore
ranked
should
him
not
above-
have
you
won
well,
it.
he shouldn't have won the Bolitnikoff then. He's a loser.
What is find me the
Could have been Roman
definition of
Dunze.
Bolitnikov, and I'll tell you why it should. If it's based on stats, then yes, you are correct,
It
Muff.
just says it's most outstanding wide receiver.
Oh God, I will go look that son of a bitch up now. Even though I'm not defending this,
So you're not defending Marvin Harrison Jr. as the winner of the Bolitnikoff.
I
You're
agree with
saying
you
it-
that he shouldn't have fucking won it, Muff.
Okay. Fair enough. As long as you're consistent with this, that's all I ask. Speaking of consistency,
Oh,
people
no,
that
I'm
won
not
over the
fucking
weekend.
done with this, Muff. Fuck this. Now you got me all
And
riled up.
Winners of the weekend. Shohei Ohtani made history with his 10
Most
year
outstanding wide receiver in American college football.
is not Marvin Harrison Jr. Got it.
That's what it was. If you want to measure it by stats, Marv should not have won that.
Well, by our subjective opinions and by your subjective opinions, Marvin Harrison should not have won it.
Who else was he up against?
Malik Neighbors, Roman Dunze. Roman
And what
Dunze's
is-
on Washington with similar stats. Malik Neighbors had better
Yes.
stats at
Marv
LSU.
should not have won that. I concur. Because Washington's guy is undefeated.
Can't have this conversation sober anymore.
This episode is brought to you by Busch Light.
I don't understand why, if you're a winner, you're not the guy. Like, that's stupid. God.
We
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
now be thinking of all of these awards by winners and only winners. Only winners can win.
That's what America should be about, folks.
Shohei Ohtani was a winner with his 10-year, $700 million deal with the LA Dodgers, a deal that eclipses the payrolls of some teams, the Pirates, the A's, potentially the $700 million over the past 10 years of those teams with this deal. The annual deal is almost $25 million more than the next highest paid player in MLB next season, Max Scherzer.
Wild.
Wow, Shohei Ohtani.
I think everybody's going to be calling his agent and say, dude, will you represent me?
Yeah. Well, you also have to have Shohei Ohtani's stats.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm going to go the opposite end of this, and I feel really bad. And it's not because we just had this giant argument. Why are we paying a baseball player that much money?
Why are we paying anybody that much money?
To play a sport.
It's ridiculous to me.
Especially whenever next year he can't even freaking pitch.
Well, he could hit though, and he can hit well.
Like, to me, and I know I'm the anti-baseball guy, this should make every fan who goes to baseball stop. Like, it's gotten out of hand. Don't take my money anymore. This is stupid.
And this is why baseball needs a salary cap.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if you're a
Oh.
Pirates fan, stop being a Pirates fan. Because
Well,
you're
I
never
think-
going to win.
I think the Pirates are one of the only pure teams left in baseball at this point. They're not
But
paying
you
people
can't
$700 million.
You can't compete.
Yeah, that
It's
I'm sure
over.
that if you ask Bob Nutting what his strategy on that is, I'm sure he's like, I just want to keep the sport pure.
Yeah.
Not my pocket lines, just the sport pure.
You're never going to win. That's what this tells me. Pirates, fat chance in hell.
Oh, we know.
That's been the
But
case
we're
for years.
persevere. But we persevere.
Get this man a Heisman.
Jim, since you always say our TikToks are matched up, did you see now people are saying, oh, well, I don't know if I can afford to go to a Dodgers game now. I got to pay $200 to sit in peanut heaven, $50 for a beer, $40 for a hot dog, just
Right.
to pay with money's contract.
To
Yeah.
be fair, that was probably already the prices in LA.
Well, whatever they were, just double them, at least.
Nuts. Absolutely insane. To top that off, John Rahm joins Live Golf in a multi-year deal for an undisclosed amount, but many are reporting it's in the neighborhood of $500 million. Rahm goes back on his previous comments of not really talking about joining Live, probably not going to do it, but this is extremely interesting, especially with the agreement that the PGA, RBC, and Live came to the agreement on. So this is really, I think, telling of what's going to be happening in golf. John
Why is
Rahm,
this a thing? Well, I thought they were combined.
well, they are
why
not
is this the
combined.
thing?
They still are their own separate entities, and they can still relatively compete against each other. John Rahm does have exemptions into all of the majors for at least this year for the PGA because he won the Masters last year.
Can we just say that this is stupid? I want to go back to COVID. I know that's weird for me to say. I want to go back to COVID golf, where it was like rivalry and it was a big deal, and golf was the only thing you could watch on television when golf mattered. This is just dumb.
Golf and cornhole. That's all we had.
Golf is literally pro wrestling at this point. You have AEW, you have the WWF, and
TNA. He's still
you
TNA. Is
you
that
have
what you're saying?
TNA. You got some sub leagues. They're all in on it. We're sharing wrestlers. Stupid.
John Rahm has Shohei money though. Good for him, I guess.
But the difference between baseball and golf is like whether fans show up or not, these people are still going to pay them this money.
Shohei's getting the money and John Rahm's getting the money no matter what.
But like, if the fans stop going to baseball, it could cause a little kerfuffle in baseball. If fans didn't show up to the golf course, it wouldn't matter.
Fair enough. In the NBA, the Lakers win the inaugural in-season tournament, taking down the Pacers, and then celebrating like they actually won something. Popping those champagne bottles in the locker room. Other than the money, which there was money for the winners. Do we think the in-season tournament's first year was any type of success story?
Yes, ratings wise and buzz wise.
I didn't really pay much attention, but I knew it was going on, so I'll give it that.
And that's the
Yep.
thing.
Yeah, I knew what was going on, and I think they need to completely get rid of those ugly ass courts that they used.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it because it was on Twitter feeds and TikTok feeds and a little bit of my television, the fact it made it in my purview means that it did something. It made
Before
enough
Christmas.
waves. Right. I also think that's a problem. I think they should have pushed it out another week and maybe even 2 weeks so that during the Christmas breaks we would have watched probably more. And it wouldn't have interfered with football.
That's kind of true. But this is also, if they'd have done it like starting now when there's this gap, like after college football,
Right.
like right now it's going to be like gappy games and you could have played like a big slate on Saturdays.
Yeah. I think it would have been cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, right, you have the
see why-
NFL.
I'll say I can see why they did it before the bowl season though, because you think how many different ESPN networks, like between
Right.
ESPN, ESPNU, and all the ESPN Pluses are carrying these games. Whereas the NBA, they want to be on the primetime networks as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and the NFL comes back Saturday this week, so it may have
That's true.
fit in exactly where it needed to be for now.
I don't know, man. I would have. Maybe I'm just mad at football right now, but I probably would have watched an in-season tournament a little harder during the Christmas break.
Well, the tournament's been going on for weeks. Like they do pool play, kind of
Right,
like
I get
soccer
it,
does.
but I'm saying like I would have focused a little bit harder next week
Okay.
because I think I'm pretty pissed off at football right now.
Bringing us into the NFL, starting with Thursday night football, as the Patriots go to Acrisure Stadium and put the Steelers on the defensive, and that may have been just what they needed to do and have the other team score more than 10 points because the Patriots finally won a game and they didn't hold a team to 10 or less points, beating the Steelers 21-18
Steelers lost to 2-win teams back to back.
with backup quarterbacks.
That's
Well,
still
Kyler Murray wasn't, I guess.
And the whole
I would've
slate of
taken one of
games
them.
the whole slate of games was weird.
There were some decent ones today, but that game sucked.
I don't know how you get that locker room back to any sort of normalcy or whatever. I mean, like Alex said, you lose 2 games. I don't care who you are or what your record is. Whenever you say, like, if it's Pittsburgh or let's say the 2 teams playing now, Dallas or Philly, teams that you're used to seeing winning, and then you go and you lose back-to-back games, the teams are both 2-10. I don't give a shit how good or bad your season is. That's an eye-opener, and there's going to be some changes.
Well, like my dad said, it's like Tomlin's not the worst coach in the entire world, but it doesn't seem like it doesn't feel like there's a lot of motivation. Like it just feels so flat.
Yeah, I think this next game for them, whoever the hell they play, is going to tell a lot about how the rest of the season's going to go.
I don't think there's an identity in Pittsburgh.
That's
I don't
kind of
see-
it. It's just like milk toast.
I mean, from what I've seen, I mean, like they're trying to run the ball. They've run the ball a little bit better than they have earlier in the year. And I think that's always been Pittsburgh's thing is they want to play tough nose, run the ball between the tackles, and then throw it when they can. But still, it's like there's not one guy on that team as a casual fan that you can go, okay, that guy worries me.
That is the case, which brings us into Sunday football, starting with the Ravens and the Rams. The Ravens get a walk-off punt return touchdown in overtime to take this one 37-31 and solidify their position in the AFC North and in the AFC Conference standings. How about them Ravens?
Ugh.
I was surprised that many points were scored in that Mud Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of those games I was like, this has got to be an under game. The Ravens just going to try to just grind on the ball all game. The Rams actually started this game off rushing the ball very well and rushed pretty well throughout the majority of the game. So when this game started, I was like, well, this is going to be like a 5-possession, 6-possession per half game. And boy, was I wrong.
You and the rest of America, too.
Mm-hmm. Next, another AFC North team gets a win as the Browns top the Jaguars 31-27. Trevor Lawrence did come back. He must be Superman, as we all thought he was out potentially for the season, and he plays the game for the Jags, but it's Joe Flacco who takes the cake, and the Browns continue their ascension up the AFC standings. The Jags, for some reason, towards the end of this game, went for 2.
Wasn't that because they were gonna be down 4 or 2?
No, they scored with like a minute some to go.
Mm-hmm.
And they were at that point, pending an extra point, they were down 31-27. I'm watching that game live, and I'm saying the same thing as Muff is. Why in the hell are you going for 2?
Oh, you're right. Because I think it was so stupid. I just did the math and assumed I was wrong.
Yeah,
Do you know
so
what I mean?
kick the extra point and go down 3. You have to
Yeah.
get on kick. At that point, it's like you go for 2, you don't get it. Now you have to go score another touchdown. I mean, I'm sure some reporter asked Doug Peterson what the hell he was thinking. I'm curious to see what his answer is.
He wasn't. That was his answer. Oh, math? Didn't get that. We don't teach that in Florida.
I mean, I guess his only thought was if we can get this and go down and win the game.
Mm-hmm.
But still, like, I guess it's the same kind of concept as at the end of the game, going for 2 and winning or going for 1 and tying. just earlier and in a weirder spot.
Some calculator man was like, "This is the best," says the computer.
I
The
think
chat bot says we should.
You don't think someone was in his ear? You won't go for it right
You won't do it. You won't
No, I
do
think
it.
a lot like the Chargers coach, man. He like has a computer that says the robot says we should.
Virginia, you won't do it.
how about Joe Flacco?
now. Do it, you muff.
Joe Flacco, I mean, it's weird seeing him in the Browns, but he looks pretty good for what is he like 38, 39?
Something like that. And just they were mentioning it during the game. He's just sitting at his parents' house watching the games with his kids, and he's like, "Oh yeah, nothing's gonna happen." Then all of a sudden, he gets a phone call and just gets thrust in there to a team that's in the contention right now, and it's like he's never taken any time off.
Already
Nothing
has just
sits
as many
Browns
touchdown
like that.
passes. Yeah, already has just as many touchdown passes as Kenny Pickett.
How's that make you feel, bud?
Not great.
Not the
Not
best. Not the
great.
best look. The Jets
I wonder if he's busy when he's done at the Browns.
take down the Texans 36. This game featured an immaculate first half as every drive ended in a punt. Only to find out that Zach Wilson must have visited some moms at halftime as he leads the Jets to win over the Texans. CJ Stroud goes out in the fourth quarter and is in the concussion protocol. This is the first game in the wild card era to have 0 points in the first half, only to hit the over.
Wow.
Yeah, I kept score
That's
checking this game, and I'm like, "What the hell is going on with Houston?" It's like I knew Tank Dell was out, but shit.
Nico Collins, I think, went out in this game as
He did.
well.
He had like a calf injury, I believe.
So they were thin at the wide receiver position, but I still would have thought this would have been more competitive at the very least.
Yeah. To only put up 6 points, given how you've been playing lately, especially against the Jets, which I know they keep saying their defense is that good, but and then you give up 30 points to Zach freaking Wilson in one half.
Yeah, there we go. The Saints beat the Panthers 28-6. The Panthers continue their downward spiral, and Bryce Young's season can't go much worse, can it?
I'm sure it could.
As long as he doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, I don't know.
It makes it worse for Panthers fans is you don't have a first round pick.
I know.
Yeah, you can't even like come back on that.
There's a problem a brewing. The Bengals take down the Colts 34-14. Jake Browning and Gardner Minshew face off in the battle of the backups, but only Gardner makes it through the game. But the Bengals get the last laugh with the W.
Yeah.
Yeah, this makes you wonder, where's this Bengals production been all year?
Yeah, Jake Browning didn't look terrible in this game. I mean, I got to watch part of it, but
And we'll see next week, though. He did go out of the game with an injury.
yeah, Willie. Yeah.
So they're on QB3. The Bears take down the brand new, but not really brand new Lions 28-13. The Bears do show out at Soldier Field and take another game away from the Lions. Jared Goff tosses 2 interceptions. Where do we see the Lions season headed now?
To the den.
I'm not writing him off just yet.
You're not?
Penalties killed him in that game. Stupid moves. I wouldn't write him out yet. Not just yet.
Not just yet. So what are they? The sort of new Lions? Are they like the thrift store Lions right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Get on board with that. The Bucks take down the Falcons 29-25. A last-second pass completion, 3 yards short of the end zone, and the clock runs out. The Bucks take this one. Nate?
So, I mean, of course, this game wasn't on locally for us, and I was checking the ESPN app, and I saw they scored, and immediately I said, all right, let's not pull a Houston like they did last time when they scored under a minute to go. And then I saw and I said, holy shit, how are they down to the 3-yard line? And then luckily that was it.
Yeah. I saw that too. I was kind of keeping a track of it. And I was like, oh, wait. Pass completions, they're down to the 3. Did he go out of bounds? What happened? And I saw the game was over, and I was like, oh. There we go. That's how the game ends.
Yeah, they can never just put a game away.
No. No, we cannot. Josh Dobbs leads Justin Jefferson right back to the injury tent and then gets the hook for Nick Mullins, and points are at a premium with Aiden O'Connell not doing a whole hell of a lot better than anyone else in this one. No points through almost the entire game until the Vikings get a field goal with about 2 minutes left and hold on to win 3-0.
That's wild.
I saw afterwards, they said that's the first game that was that low scoring at 3-0 since that torrential downpour game in Pittsburgh when they played Miami back in 07.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. And this is in like Las Vegas. This isn't like bad
Yeah,
conditions.
Yeah, this is on turf, in a dome, perfect weather conditions, just two bad football teams.
Very bad, very bad. The 49ers take down the Seahawks 28-16. The 49ers scored 7 points in each quarter. Drew Lock got to start over Geno Smith in this one, but he wasn't the answer the Seahawks needed. 49ers win.
I think even with Geno, Niners win this game.
Yeah, there's a good shot there. 49ers back up. Trending in the best direction
yeah.
right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. As long, if they stay healthy, they're going to be the favorites in the NFC outside of Philly. I mean, after they just put a thumping on Philly, but.
Next, we travel to Arrowhead, where Taylor Swift was in the house again.
Late penalties screwed this game up.
They showed that replay, Jim. It was actually the correct call.
Do you think so?
Yeah. That's just a receiver being a dumbass.
Well, Kadarius Toney being a dumbass, which is unfortunately a theme in Kansas City.
All right.
I mean, yeah, they brought it on and they showed the angle right down the line. And it was clear. I mean, his foot was even with the ball. So, I mean, I don't know how you let that happen. Like that's just, again, just being a dumb receiver.
It did take a touchdown off the board that included the lateral from Travis Kelce, which was a very entertaining play. I was actually watching that one in real time. Patrick Mahomes, after the game, was fired up at the officials.
Yeah, he's a big man. He's big man.
I mean, I get it. They're frustrated with the losing too, but I mean, still, they're in a better position right now than Buffalo is. I mean, Buffalo's what now? 7-6, and Kansas City's 8-5. Plus, Kansas City's in a weak division. I mean, they're only one game up now. And I didn't realize until they were talking before this Sunday night game, Kansas City, and the whole time he's been there, have not played an away playoff game.
Correct. They played neutral site and all that, but never an away game.
Right.
Denver might give them a run for their money. They keep this up.
Indeed.
Let that sink in. Denver right now, if I would have told you at the beginning of the year, Jim, you know, Denver's going to be going into December around Christmas, right in the thick of things.
I'd have been like, no way in hell. I also wouldn't have told you the Chargers would have sucked so bad.
Would you? I feel like you would have said it, but just
Not
in your
this
mind, not
bad.
believed it.
Not this bad. I would have never thought.
Herbert gets knocked out of this one, and the Broncos continue their charge, winning 24-7.
Yeah.
Is it
Not
time-
enough lube
is
on
time
the
for-
dildo finger.
Is it time for Herbert to
Not
shut it
enough
down?
what?
Jim?
Lube on the what?
On the dildo finger.
Oh dear.
Can you explain?
Yeah,
Nope.
he broke his broken finger. The one
Yeah,
with
the dildo finger.
Oh, I know what he's talking about. Yeah.
He went out again with the same finger, I believe.
Mhm.
I
Aw.
don't think that would have done him any good
He-
anyway.
He put it somewhere it shouldn't have been again.
So he's out.
Time to shut him down, Jim. Just say we're done.
I mean, I would shut myself down if I was him.
It wouldn't.
I don't think it's going to do him any good.
Not with a dildo finger.
Honestly, and I might be watching the Showtime Lakers show too much, but I'd walk into management and be like, fire that coach.
I mean, he's their guy. They paid him.
Yeah, I mean, they're 2 games out of a wild card spot right now. So, I mean, they're technically not out of it, but the way they're playing right now. Ugh.
I would have him gone in a heartbeat if I were him.
Yeah, they have too much talent to be this bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Sunday Night Live looking how the Eagles Cowboys looking.
Cowboys up 7-0. They went down and drove an easy touchdown drive to open the game, and then Jalen Hurts had a fumble in the red zone.
Ooh.
I'm worried if he's losing a little bit of his shine.
I don't know. It was just a true.
I think the pressure is
good
starting to
tackle.
get to Philly.
Yeah.
I mean, 10-2. I mean, everybody's looking at you being the best team right now, and you're playing a pretty tough schedule as of late. And they've said what, including tonight, that's 2 or 3 straight primetime games. So I mean, the pressure is on. So they might just be breaking a little bit.
See, they're a winner, which means he's the MVP, right, Jim?
Yeah. If they're winners, well, that's not college ball, but I would still, he'd have my pick.
I need
All
to.
right.
We're gonna remember this moving forth.
And we have the double dip at Monday Night Football this week with the Titans traveling to Miami to take on the Dolphins and the Packers coming to Jersey to take on the Giants.
Both of those
Packers.
really ugly games.
I think the Packers Giants is going to be entertaining.
I think the Dolphins Titans could be just as entertaining when the
There we
Dolphins put
go.
up 50 points.
That's true. I give you that too.
Well, don't we have Packers minus 6.5 for the betting show?
We do.
So
Don't want it to be that entertaining, Jim,
Right.
unless it's the Packers just walloping them.
yes.
Yeah, I think I picked up Jordan Love in one of my fantasy leagues, so I could have him go off and be happy with that.
Ooh. I think I've got him starting somewhere too, Nate.
Things that piss me off when I'm in a fantasy football league with my family and I'm already eliminated from playoff contention, and I say for a different league, I was between starting Jordan Love or Jared Goff, and my stepdad says, "Yeah, Katie just picked up Jordan Love actually," and Katie's like, "No, I didn't." And Bruce's like, "Yeah, I'm looking at your team right now. You did," and she's like, "No, I didn't. I picked up Green Bay." I was like, and she's beating me. Chaps my ass. And then she says, "Shit, T Hill is out." And she says like 8 times T Hill. I'm like, who is T Hill? Like, tell me, Katie. Who's T Hill? Like, give me a name, first name. She's like, I don't know. I was like, she is beating me. I think I'm done with fantasy forever, which is an absolute lie, but
you run a league. You run a league, Alex.
It was kind of like that whole "I'm never drinking again" statement.
Gotcha.
In other NFL news, the NFL has come to a conclusion that the Bengals were in full compliance of how they were reporting injuries with the handling of Joe Burrow prior to the game where he ultimately sustained an injury to go out for the season. Do we believe this reporting?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I can't say that I do.
This is an NFL investigating itself.
Yes.
Nothing can go wrong, right?
Yes,
You should always be able to
exactly.
just investigate yourself until you get the best outcomes for you.
Like just do that meme from The Simpsons where the guy takes his hat off and walks right back out.
I did my
Yeah.
own self introspection, and I believe that what I did was right.
News comes to light again from a 2019 team meeting where Bills head coach McDermott likened being a team to the 9/11 hijackers. Obviously, this made big news. He had to come out at a news conference. What was interesting about this coming to light again is that he had to readdress this when he had already apologized in 2019. Apparently, from a report that I read from a pretty okay source from my point of mind, is that those that did this reporting and brought this to light again used to be part of the Bills post-game pressers, part of like the locker room credentials, but those were taken away from them. And it seems like they were sitting on this until a time that they felt was appropriate to try to smear his character.
So they're just being butthurt because they lost their credentials and the team's mediocre.
Yeah, because he should have reported it earlier. Did you hear what he did?
Oh yeah, it's all out there of what was said. There's nothing, but it's not necessarily news in the way of it was known at the time and it was addressed at the time. It's not good. There's nothing good about it.
Did it break? Did the news break at the time?
That's the thing is I don't know if it broke in real time, but it was addressed. He addressed the team and apologized to the team.
I don't give a shit if he addressed it and apologized. Like, I just want to be clear. He's like, let's think about this for a second, Muff. If I said anything regarding terrorists and how we should be like them, and then was like, wait, the next day, hey, I apologize for that comparison, and didn't do it in the moment, like,
Oh, he
hey,
did
we should be like
apologize
this.
in the moment.
So he's all right. Wait. Let's
McDermott
back up
apologized to the team
there. After he said it.
in 2019.
No, Muff. Hold on. I'm saying we're in a rah-rah. Let's go get a moment.
Yeah.
You know how we beat them? We act like terrorists. We be like those terrorists in the greatest national tragedy ever. And if the next words out of his mouth were, "Oh wait, that was the most fucked up thing I've ever said. I'm sorry, guys." And he had to wait 24 hours to think about it and then apologize.
Well, maybe he was like, "Wow, I'm really hyped up," and then afterward, you're like, "Wait, should I have said that?" And the whole team's running out on the field, and then you're like, "Yeah, I gotta come back on that."
Yeah, but he should have come back after the game, maybe.
I don't think this was before a game. I think this was like during a team meeting during the week.
I don't really have a. He did it. He apologized. I mean, I know I've said dumb shit, and I'm like, not maybe about terrorism, but like you make a comment, and you're like, "Hey, look, I said something yesterday. I didn't mean it like that." Like, you're in the shower the next morning, you're like overthinking everything you said in the last 24 hours.
Yeah, but
that's
if
just
the
me.
news broke in 2019 and that's what made him apologize.
Oh, I didn't know that the news broke.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what did it take? I don't know either.
Did he just naturally say like, "Shit, I said that yesterday, and now that I'm at home and thinking about it, tomorrow when I'm at practice, I got to tell the guys like that wasn't
right."
Cool.
Yeah,
that's what I'm picturing, and I'm like, yeah, it's a day later, but I'm okay with that if it's that kind of situation.
Sure, but if
it was like,
that didn't happen,
I don't like when people apologize because you were called out on your bullshit.
Right. Which is why I'm okay if the news breaks now in 2023. Like, hey, let me tell you a screwed up story I heard. Now, like Nate said, if it's I asked to get my press credentials back, they said no. Now I'm going to tell a story because I'm a bitter butthurt baby. Even though this whole thing's been blown over, yeah, now I'm mad. This is stupid. You're just being an idiot. But so I ran through all those emotions, and then I went, this is Buffalo. Yeah. Of all places for it to happen,
these people
Buffalo's okay.
Just for fun.
Right. Like, it's kind of a screw loose up there anyway. Because I can see the people the fans who slam each other in the tables going, we get it.
But also New York. So probably not the best state to be doing this in.
That's true too.
But if any team was going to accept them, or if any franchise was going to accept them, it'd be that one. It's okay, guys.
Yeah, apparently when this happened in 2019, there was a player who, and I forget the exact way that this was paraphrased, after he made this statement, the player brought up something about like, unless you're a TSA agent. And apparently got some chuckles in a part of the room. Like there was an attempt to be like, we need to lighten the mood here because that probably wasn't cool.
See what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I feel like this was not as bad as this press guy's trying to make it out to be.
Well, it was bad.
Right. But like, I feel like it was dealt with. Yeah. Somebody walked up to him, was like, don't do like that. That was bad. Do you know where you are? And he's like, yeah, got me.
Yeah.
Careful what your little ears hear. Be careful what your little ears hear. That's the song my aunt sings to me when I let my cousins listen or watch to something inappropriate.
So when they listen to the podcast?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
It actually was mainly when I let them watch 10.
Next. Getting into college football.
Other ridiculousness.
All sorts of reports, information, news, potentially leaks of the money being piled up to keep Marvin Harrison Jr. in Columbus next year. Some reporting it's north of $20 or $25 million.
I don't know if it's I honestly think it's true. I don't know that it's a leak. I don't know that it's like taboo.
I was gonna say a leak doesn't really mean a lie.
I honestly think that there's a conglomerate of people who have stockpiled their money and said, hey, Marv, here's $25 million. Stay in Columbus. Honest to God.
Oh, I'm not doubting that that is taking place.
And I would dare say it went down something like this. Marv's going off the field of Michigan. Marv, what are you going to do? I don't know. I'm still thinking plenty of time. At that point, the green lights went off in Columbus. and it was batten down the hatches, get out the work offers, let's go. The plane landed in Columbus, and it was, what's the number, Marv? I don't know, man. I just need to think about it. No problem. Ring, what's the starting salary again for a rookie? 25 mil. Done.
That's
Was
with like, a top 2 or 3 first round pick maxed out.
done. Uh-oh. Alex
That's
is
it.
on. Alex
I'm-
got kicked out.
It literally, my whole screen just went black and then like came back up and everything was open but my Zoom. And then it was updating. I'm like, that was inconvenient.
Alex in the pool.
Alex is in the
transfer
portal. Right now, Alex is in the portal. We're gonna leave Alex in the portal for the rest of the episode.
I'm in timeout.
No, where are you transferring to, Alex?
I'm looking right now between Pardon My Take and the Pat McAfee show. The bids are out for me. They're both vying for me. I might come back here if they don't really like give me what I'm asking for. But they're pushing pretty hard. So
To finish up the Marv thing, the coolest thing about the Marv thing is I think he truly wants a Big Ten title and to beat Michigan before he leaves. Like, all bullshit transfer portal money aside, when he says that, I think he genuinely wants that.
And I can understand.
So that endears him to me. Like, I am a big fan of Marvin Harrison because of that.
And I think the big thing for him too, since he's waiting it out, is who are they going to bring in with McCord transferring out?
Yes.
Would you? And this is such a bigger question right now in college football, Jim. Would you still be as much a fan of him if he said, but I'll only do it if you get me 30?
I don't think he would do that.
Not
Hypothetically,
publicly.
I don't think he's built that way. I think a lot of other people would.
Yeah.
I don't think that ever happened.
But again, it's a hypothetical question. If he did,
I'd still be a fan.
That it wouldn't matter that he required X amount of dollars to do this, to come back and to want to win championship and beat Michigan.
Yeah, I don't think it would matter to me.
So it has nothing to do, and this is what I'm saying. Like, I think a lot of the reasons that we would typically associate with wanting to come back and continue your college career are starting to get blurred.
This is a hard one for me. Like, because we're saying it's a Joe Blow. Like, it's hard for me to separate the situation. Travion Henderson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I really want to beat Michigan and earn a title. Give me 30 and I'll come back. I'm not a fan. The way Marv has played this and the way he's handled it and how he's carried himself, I'd be okay with that. Does that make sense?
I mean, I get it because he's not demanding, at least publicly, but that doesn't mean that there's conversations behind closed doors.
The progression of it makes it okay for me. Like, he came off the field and he said, I don't know. I got to think. I don't know. The next thing out of his mouth was, all I've ever wanted to do was beat Michigan and win a Big Ten title. That's what I want to do. And then it's, hey, we got 25 million. We're trying to get him to stay. And then he says, give me 30 and I'll stay. All right. We got you 25. What's 30?
Right, but that doesn't that, and I'm just saying, like, yes, I understand what he's saying plays that way, but what if behind the scenes the whole time it was, I'm gonna try to get this number? And I can't say
because
that's
I'm
true.
not there.
You're right.
Because I'm not the one standing there. Now, if I was the guy chasing the 25 the entire time and I'm the one doing negotiations, if he said 30, I'd be like, I hate this kid. You know what I mean? Like, but from a fan standpoint, the progression of everything, I'm like, I don't care. Cool. But if somebody came out and said, it takes 30 to keep me here, see ya, go to the NFL.
Okay. Fair enough. Alex says, come back. We've lured
I wouldn't,
Alex back in.
I talked to Pat McAfee, talked to Big Cat. Actually, you guys will pay me more, so I'm gonna stay here.
We pay
If they don't
Alex in
want to,
beer,
if
so
they don't value my medical knowledge and ability to drink Busch Light,
I'm surprised Portnoy would probably take you.
I know, I know. I mean, they really wanted me. They just couldn't compete with what I have.
Your anti-Ohio
You
State
guys,
love would have kept you in
I
Portnoy's
know,
favor.
I know, but you guys mean more to me. So
we may have brought Alex back in, but the number of players in the transfer portal right now is out of this world. Specifically, there are 106 quarterbacks in the portal with only 133 programs in FBS football.
do they understand that just because they go in the portal does not mean they end up out of the portal?
That is a problem, I think, with a lot of the college players right now. All I'm going to say is a Division I player that goes in the portal, they're going to end up somewhere.
Yeah.
They may not get money like they want to get, but they're probably going to end up somewhere. Included in these numbers, these are total numbers of players in the transfer portal at some of the top schools in the nation. Florida State has 11. Ohio State has 14, Georgia 10, Oregon 6, Missouri 8, Oklahoma 11, Notre Dame 10. NC State is the most I saw. They currently have 16 in the portal.
I think some of the big ones. Notre Dame landed somebody. I can't think. I think it's a quarterback.
Riley Leonard from Duke.
Duke, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, is it official or is it still
it's pretty
conjecture?
close. If it's not official,
I didn't know if it
I don't
was
know if
that
it's
was.
I don't know if it's allowed to be official yet.
Yeah, I mean, I know that's like the plan, I think, but I just
Why couldn't it be official? They kept saying it's official that was it Dylan Gabriel's going from Oklahoma to Oregon.
yeah,
That's
saw
true.
that
Never
tonight.
mind. You're right, Nate.
Chip Trainum, the backup running back and the second running back to leave Ohio State this week. So Ohio State for the bowl game could only have like one actual game present running back, and that's a huge loss. Chip Trainum is a huge loss for Ohio State. It's shocking, and people wonder if that's a commentary to Ryan Day. Like they did not anticipate losing that one. Kyle McCord is visiting Wisconsin, no, Nebraska.
I could see him at a school like that.
Yeah, so that could be a thing. What else did
Didn't I
see?
also see that Julian Fleming's the one to visit there too?
Yes, going there too. Everybody still thinks he's landed at Penn State though. So
I mean, there's reason for them to want to bring him in. That's for sure.
right. He's like a hometown boy there. So
Yeah.
I honestly think I would love to see him there. I hate seeing Ohio State lose him, but I would absolutely love Penn State to pick him up.
For what reason? Just
You need a weapon.
right. I mean, it's utility.
I don't want to see a non-Big Ten team get him.
Okay.
And I think that would improve Penn State and maybe get you over the hump to beat Michigan and maybe Ohio State too. I don't want to see that, but I would like to see a strong Big Ten and a strong Penn State can only help Ohio State down the road. And it's another shot at beating Michigan. And I really
Now, if he
think
does
they're
end up
best.
there, Jim, how's the rest of Columbus going to treat him?
Fine. We don't care. Long
You
as they don't
decide-
end up-
Well, I mean, given that you have so many in the portal, I mean, you have to like just at this point, it's got to be water off your back.
you don't end up in Michigan, you're fine.
I don't know that they would take a transfer there.
They're cheating bastards. They'll take any information they can get.
I don't know. Even if he does say end up at Penn State, I still would say Ohio State Penn State's a rivalry. It's like I can't really think of anybody transferring from one school to another rival like that.
Yeah, like if someone went from WV to Pitt, you'd be dead.
Penn State.
Well, no,
has-
actually, take that back, Alex. Rochelle Shell did that a few years ago.
Yeah, but they're dead to me.
Penn State has a lineman or a linebacker from Ohio State. This
I
year,
mean, there's things that there's players that do go back and forth within the Big Ten because they're easily scouted by those teams. You would have
I don't understand. I mean, I don't think like going. I mean, I guess that's a stupid comment because I guess position to position, what team has what players in that position that you're playing. But like, in my opinion, going from Ohio State or Penn State, like you're in the same caliber of like.
here's the situation. Ohio State plays. They You can only start how many on the line? 5, right?
Correct.
Ohio State plays 10. Like we start 5, but in actuality, in the game, we're playing 10. We rotate so much.
Offensive
guys-
linemen,
Defense.
4, typically.
So we rotate 8.
Right, that's not abnormal though.
You guys rotate 8.
Yeah.
So when we have somebody transfer to Penn State, it's so that they can be one of the 4. So like it's not, they don't want to be 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
That's why the transfer between the two is so easy.
Yeah, they don't want to be one of the guys. They want to be the guy.
Right.
Yeah. That makes sense.
That's like the same thing with all these quarterbacks. I can't believe 106. Like they want to go somewhere and be the guy. They don't want to go and sit somewhere.
Yeah. What you probably won't see with Penn State in Ohio State's transfer is a quarterback.
Like a skill player.
You'll see a receiver. I don't think you'll see a running back because they're different styles.
Yeah. Probably won't see tight ends much
No, fuck
unless
that.
they go from Ohio State to Penn State, just because of Penn State's recent track record with tight ends.
Ohio
Right? They're
State,
getting into the NFL. Why would
Right.
you leave Penn State?
yeah, and Ohio State tries to hang on to them as best they can because we're all trying to play the same style of football. As much as James Franklin tries to fuck that up, we're trying to play the same style.
So this whole transfer portal got me thinking. I'm about to get on a soapbox for a bit.
Here we
And
go.
I'm sure there will be some disagreements and some thoughts, but
Ugh.
I am starting to get very frustrated because football to me is college football to me is going down an eerily similar track to Major League Baseball, a la
Well, be
Shohei
careful, Muff.
Ohtani, but the top 1% of the 1%, right? That's what we're looking at of impactful players in college football, those that are most likely or are very likely to make it to the NFL. I now see with Marvin Harrison Jr., right? This whole situation, hey, $25-30 million. There are only so many schools that can even potentially come up with that kind of money throughout all of college football. There is no real profit sharing when you think of where this money comes from, right? These are from donors. The TV deals are not where this money is coming from in the end, because that's not what they can offer. These have to be from donor bases and part of their collectives and all of that. There's no salary cap, which means you can offer as much as you want to as many people as you can, as long as you have the money to do it. And there is now discussions that there may be some schools that are offering live in-game donation opportunities to these collective pots. That to me is absurd, to even think that you can put potentially up on a board as sponsored by the Ohio State, Penn State, WVU collective. If you want to donate, hit this QR code, give us $10, $15, $20 from everybody in the stadium to add on to that number. Is it going to make meaningful? Maybe not for the big ones, but maybe you can toss in a little bit here. And I think also with all these players in the portal, all of these quarterbacks in the portal, schools have no reason to have any loyalty to these players anymore, a la Kyle McCord.
Yeah, Muff, that's not good. I'm gonna put the brakes to you there. Kyle McCord has no loyalty to Ohio State either.
I don't disagree with Muff, but I also agree with Jim at the same time, because I think that there's loyalty that should go both ways and there's no loyalty at all. I'm going to Ohio State knowing that if I'm not happy there, I can transfer out in a year. I don't have to sit. I don't have to anything. The old thing was my loyalty was Ohio State because I chose them and I committed that was where I was playing my college football, not where I was playing my football for this year.
You
Go
sign
on.
the letter, you sign it to X school.
Yes, but now I feel like you sign it to X school for a year.
Well,
Yeah.
you sign your NIL deal for a year, and this is the biggest issue I have. Is you sign the NIL deal. I would say in most cases these are year offs, right? Hey, we're going to give you we'll just say $5 million.
I would like the NIL more if it was more years.
CJ Stroud played for 2 years. Quinn Ewers would have had to sit behind him for another year. So he came in, got his $1 million, sat for a year. Would have had to sit another year, and then the donors of Texas came calling and said, hey, how about 2, 3, 4? And he said, I miss Texas.
You have said before that you think this was a good move for him in every way possible. There was a
I
lot
don't
of
disagree, but
right.
like,
But
they also
don't
came calling.
blur the two.
They came calling. You know what I mean? Like, Kyle McCord's dad said, so Ryan said you have to compete. Let's go look. Let's go out.
Calm down, Zach Smith. Calm down.
But that's what happened. Like, that is the narrative. Is Ryan Day came out and said there's going to be a bowl game competition. We know that the play could be better. And the next day it was transfer portal.
You don't think they were already looking in the portal to get somebody though?
I think as soon as that Michigan game happened, it was like, he's not necessarily a diamond, sure. But that doesn't mean the job's not yours. He beat Notre Dame. He went 12-1.
No, to me, that just shows Kyle McCord softer than baby shit.
So the loyalty is a two-way street.
That was my point.
Right.
Now,
I'm not, maybe Kyle McCord's a bad example.
No, I mean, you're arguably probably the best school in the nation as far as football as a whole, facilities, like backing, you name it. And you're like, I didn't have a great year. I got a lot of skepticism. Coach says I'm not the starter going in next year. Fuck it, I'm out.
But your point about being able to raise in-game donations and it's a disparity between schools, I agree. I agree with you there. There is a haves and have-nots. I agree. I think you're going to see some relief of that. I think the feds and the state and local governments are going to step in. But the disparity, the rich are only going to get richer in the end. Once it all
with the
settles down
transfer
and shakes
portal
out.
specifically.
Yeah, and the NIL deals.
Right.
I think it's
That's
only
what I
going to
mean,
get. I think it's only going to get worse. There will be a calmness, and it will become baseball. I agree with that. Am I mad about it? No.
See,
I'm not mad that players are able to capitalize on
Right.
money.
That's why.
I think the amount of money is going to get out of control. That's my concern. When I say Shohei money, I'm not talking 700 million, but comparatively, it's going to seem like it.
I don't understand, and this is for bigger brains than mine, how Title IX hasn't somehow taken effect here. How can we get away with paying Marvin Harrison $25 million and
because the
Joe
school's not paying him? That's how.
He's signing the grayest of area.
I know, but they're going to take advantage of it until somebody puts it in.
That's
black
what I'm
and white.
saying. Like, that's why I don't understand why the feds haven't stepped in and gone, okay, Susie Smith on the basketball, tennis, rowing is not getting jack diddly shit.
Mm-hmm.
But the men on the basketball or football team are making bajillions. The disparity of riches within the organization, not okay. Because eventually, hypothetically, women's sports will fade away.
They'll fade away as far as the spotlight, because you're going to want, if you're investing this much money, if these collectives are investing this much money, you're not going to see as much, right, of them, women in these sports being in the community as much or highlighted as much, because I'm paying somebody $10-15 million. You better believe they're going to earn it to some degree out in the community. They're going to earn it doing all these things, and that's going to be where the pub and the spotlight goes. Whereas, like you're saying, women's rowing, whatever sport you want to get to, they may be putting in more community service hours than any other team at that school, but they're not being recognized because they're not the ones that are getting all that money.
I agree with you, but I've also contend that you and I have worked at higher education institutions. We both know that in order to balance the state budget, education's what's cut first.
Mm-hmm.
If I have to put in place all these regulatory people to manage this millions and millions of dollars, right? And I know that's the priority. When it comes time to cut the budget, am I going to keep the assistant coach on the rowing team or the compliance officer for the NIL deals for the football team. See you later, assistant coach.
Yeah, I'm sure that's already happening to some degree because they have to have somebody on site for compliance.
And
with
as that
NIL,
slowly goes, you're
Yeah.
going to slowly see coaching or facilities or equipment budgets start getting cut, and sports will fade. And then, well, we got to keep equal for Title IX. Well, we got a basketball team. We got a female basketball team. We got a male basketball team. We got a track team. We got a football team. We don't need that rowing team. We don't need that other stuff. And so the smaller sports fade away for women. And I don't think that's been thought out all the way.
we'll definitely continue. I mean, this is what we expected. We said this was going to be the Wild Wild West, and what have we got?
It's crazy.
Thank you, government. Thank you, NCAA.
That's where I'm at right now. I haven't made it to the government leap yet, but we called it 3 years ago
Mm-hmm.
when we said, hey, NCAA, for the love of God, get in front of this. Nope. Shite.
We're gonna let Congress figure this out for us.
Yeah,
That always goes well.
so bad.
In other news, Duke's getting Manny Diaz for Penn State.
All right, man.
Shit.
Yay. Best
That
news I
is-
heard all week.
That is, I mean, I expected it. It was expected, but it sucks because Manny Diaz was, he was doing good things at Penn State.
Should have been the
So,
head coach of Penn State.
Yeah, that wasn't going to happen. Theoretically, I mean, I didn't share this with the group, I don't think, but Penn State, I think, consistently is like top 15 recruiting classes and turning out like top 6, 7, 8 NFL numbers.
Yeah.
So one could argue that their coaching staff is actually increasing the value of those recruiting classes and not decreasing them.
Okay. I think Duke's a bad choice for Manny Diaz, but
Yeah, if that's his best option, I think he should have stayed. But I mean,
Yeah.
I get you want to be a head coach again. You got to start again somewhere. But I mean, I don't think Duke's going to turn into a powerhouse in football by any means.
no. I think if he'd have wrote it out one more year, you might have caught Michigan or Ohio State again. You would have rode off in the sunset as a giant killer. And then a good opening would have came open for you.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what kind of money, right? Or what you think about Duke, right? He can probably ride that out with average seasons for probably
Yeah,
5 years before
Yeah,
anybody
there's no pressure at Duke. I mean, that's not to knock on Duke saying, oh, yeah, you guys suck. But I mean, there's no pressure there. Like, you're not expected to go out and compete for a national championship at Duke,
Mhm.
at least not in football.
right.
But
And he was at Miami before, right?
yeah,
Yes.
So the pressure between those two schools and what he's going to feel is significantly different.
I'm surprised that he didn't go after the Mississippi State job that Jimbo had.
Those are two very different jobs. And he's used to coaching in the ACC.
Yeah, fair point.
He may have a good recruiting pipelines, and plus he may
Yeah.
have gained some while at Penn State too. So it may just be
Yeah.
one of those. Guess what, guys? I got New Jersey and New York and Eastern Pennsylvania. We got better ends there. We can make this work now.
Yeah.
So
Come on down, play some football, and be a Cameron crazy.
bingo. That's all he has to do. Just hope the basketball team just good enough, but not great.
Maybe he liked the North Carolina feel. Who knows?
We'll see. All right. Any other news in the sports world, gents?
No.
You want to talk
Oh,
about
no, yeah,
Brock
how about
Lesnar's daughter?
I do.
was
I
gonna
want
say-
to bring that question for the boys. So, Brock Lesnar's daughter versus Frank Mir's daughter in a fight. I sent you all pictures.
When you say fight, you just mean like a straight fight, an MMA fight?
That's a fair question, Nate. That is a fair question. I'm gonna go with. Damn, that's tough. I'm gonna go with an MMA fight.
If we're going MMA fight, give me Frank Mir's daughter.
Ooh, interesting choice. Did
I don't
not see
know.
that.
Brock Lesnar's daughter does not look like anyone could beat her up, including myself, Nate, Jim, and Muff.
Alex, I have a medical question to understand.
Okay.
Is diverticulitis hereditary?
Ooh.
Diverticulitis is something that anybody could face at any time. So not really, no.
But-
It could be. I don't know. That's a fair
Yeah.
question. The long and short of it's I don't know,
Mhm.
but generally not something you think of as a hereditary disease.
How about glass jaw?
Glass jaw.
Easily knocked out.
Yeah, I don't know about that one either.
I come to the medical determinant with questions.
I know. Well, you didn't give me prep time to look up whether or not
I
those
don't know.
things were.
That is bearing on my thoughts because if diverticulitis is potentially has a higher chance of being hereditary, then
like
old
colon
Lesnar's daughter might be in a bad spot if she gets hit in the old midsection.
Yeah, no. I also, just to clarify, you do not get diverticulitis from getting punched in the midsection.
So who do you
No, but
take?
can it be potentially
No. You get
make it worse?
diverticulitis. No, you get diverticulitis because your colon stretches and you get an outpouching called a diverticulosis. Diverticulitis is a small microperforation of that diverticulosis, which is nothing to do with traumatic injury to the abdomen.
But if you have it and you get hit punched, is it going to hurt more?
Yes.
That's all I
it would
needed.
hurt. If
That's all
I
I
have a
needed.
flare up of my diverticulitis, it would hurt to get punched in the gut. Yes.
Thank you
Muff,
for your
who are you
medical
taking?
expertise.
You're welcome.
Frank Muir's daughter.
Alex.
Lesnar.
I think I'm gonna take Lesnar too. Go to the light.
Thanks, not prepped for this show as much.
We need the light.
Hey, if we're talking MMA, give me Mir's daughter. Any other fight, give me Lesnar's daughter.
Why?
Like just
Why?
a street fight, like out back in the alley behind a bar.
I mean, I'm thinking of the way Brock was in MMA versus Frank Mir.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Now, if we're talking a regular street fight, I think Lesnar's daughter might murder her.
I think I have to go Lesnar light.
Lesnar's
the light?
That. Yeah.
Okay. Lesnar takes it down.
Okay. Now.
Yeah, what was that? She just broke the Colorado State school record. Was it shot put?
Yeah.
She's huge. Look at her.
Okay. Now, Sam, you're gonna have to forgive this. This is again questions for the boys. We're gonna assume we're all single. Which one do you want to take on a date?
Frank Mir's daughter.
Frank Mir's daughter.
Muff.
I don't know. I'd take either of them on a date. I don't. The opportunity for me to get my ass kicked in all situations by them or their fathers exists all the same. So I'll flip the light.
I'll flip the light. I was thinking more about them just on looks because I don't know them as people.
I'm using Muff's logic and I'm taking Frank Mir's daughter because I don't want her dad to kick my ass. Her dad is Lester's dad is just an animal. So
yeah, but we know his weakness.
Still, I don't think that you have to get to the weakness, and I don't think we can. He's a monster.
I think we've talked about before, like how many do we think if all four of us were charging Brock Lesnar, could we put him down and take him out?
No,
Absolutely not.
No, that
no.
would be literally zero help.
How many of us? How many of us do we think it would take to take down his daughter?
3 at least.
Three.
No, 3. Am I involved? Because I cannot be one of the two.
I think if there
I'm
was
just going to be honest.
one of the daughters,
If it's 2 being me and Nate, no. If it's 2 being Muff and Jim, maybe. If it's 2 being like Muff and Nate or Jim and Nate, maybe. But if I'm involved, there has to be 3.
What if it's both of their daughters versus the 4 of us? Do we come out on top?
No.
absolutely not.
I think it depends on the sequence of events.
What
Are they
sequence?
drunk?
What sequence leads to success in your mind?
I think if we throw Alex, like the 3 of us throw Alex like a shot put at one of them.
I just become a projectile. That's honestly probably how I'll be most useful in this situation.
Alex just
I
becomes a javelin.
Right.
The only other thing I could think would be like if you can stop them long enough that I can wrap up their legs.
Right.
I don't
So
even know
what
if the
down?
arms might not be big enough.
Yeah.
Is this Alice training? Alex is the diversion,
He's
the distraction.
diversion.
Yeah. Like instead of throwing a chair, you throw
Right.
Alex is the rodeo clown.
Yes.
Basically, yes. I'll
Yeah.
embrace. I embrace my role in this.
That's questions for the boys.
Oh goodness. Do we have a snippet from Sam?
The whole beginning was a great snippet from Sam about
Okay.
vaginas.
Sam, how's your crafts going?
They're going good.
How many orders? How many orders are we back? We backlogged?
We're getting there.
Christmas time is here.
Slow. There's a lot.
There's a lot.
Do you want to talk about the Ohio State fan that was factually accurate that you no longer like?
Okay, it was not my fault.
I mean, it was, but it's okay.
I was not the cashier. Okay, for the listeners.
For the
I'm
listeners.
at local Michael's today.
Adam Michaels. Adam Michaels, and you thought that were going to be fast? You didn't tell us where you were at.
Listen, my Michael's is usually good. Anyways, I'm returning some things that I didn't need.
How many things?
Like 10 t-shirts, but they were all on one receipt.
Okay.
So then I'm purchasing 3 rolls of vinyl, 1 t-shirt, and something else random, and I don't remember what it was. Oh, some Christmas cards. Anyways.
So you're at a minimum of 15 different
Okay.
items.
Shut up. So I am almost done checking out, and I see this woman.
Hold on. How many registers are open?
1. But I'm not the cashier, so if he saw that there was a line for me, he should have called for someone.
Right, but he didn't.
Or one of the other people that work there, which I swear everyone there is just like lazy and nobody ever wants to come check people out, should have noticed that there was a line.
All right,
Anyways,
so let's pause for a second. Let's set the scene. No, one cash register was open. No workers were trying to call for help. You had returned 10 items on one
I'm buying
receipt, and you're
5.
buying 15.
5 items.
We'll call it 7.
Okay, well, I know that there were 5 because I know exactly what I bought.
I'm with Jim. I mean, you're probably underestimating.
I literally bought 1 pack of Christmas cards, 1 t-shirt, and 3 rolls of vinyl. That was it.
Okay, 5.
So this woman like zooms past me,
Zooms.
like walking really fast.
Really
And
fast.
then I finish checking out and I walk over to where you put your buggy back.
Right.
And
Buggy. You have geographic location now, people.
buggy.
Buggy.
So put my buggy back and I hear her going, "Can we get someone else to come over to the register because there was somebody holding up the line?" Like really loud because she knew I was standing right there. And so then here she comes strutting back past me with an Ohio State t-shirt, jacket, and beanie on.
Mm-hmm.
And just like walks really fast away. And when I walked out the door, there was still no one over at that register. So
And listeners, the contention is, was this woman factually trying just to get help, or was she being a bitch?
I have done that in stores where I'm like, "Hey, can we get someone else at the register?"
So you've
Like-
done this behavior as well.
No, but I've done it in a nice way and I haven't thrown the person checking out under the bus.
Wait, how do you do it a nice way?
You're just like, "Hey, there's a line at the register. Would you be able to call someone to come and help?"
As opposed to,
There's somebody holding up the line.
okay,
Listen,
In your mind, was somebody holding up the line when you said it?
9 years that I've worked in retail.
9.
9.
9 times, Ferris.
The rule of thumb in retail is 2 or more people in line, you call for backup.
How many people were in the line?
I think there was like 3. She was like the 3rd one. So
So,
really, the cashier should have asked someone.
so the mistake was made by the employee.
Right. But he was probably the first like nice person I've encountered that works at that Michael's. And I'm there at least twice a week. So now I feel like I can't show my face at Michael's because I might run into
Karen?
Buckeye.
Listen,
Don't
you
sit
know,
along
okay.
long.
you got to use your sports stuff with Jim and Muff knowledge next time. You know what you tell her? Say, listen, I know you're impatient. You haven't beat Michigan in however many years. You'll be all right.
Oh, it's like that, Nate. It's like that.
No, that's not a shot at you. That's a shot at this woman. That's
It's
what
not a shot at you. It's a shot at this woman.
Today was
It's like you should be used to waiting, lady.
I was also in Ohio, like, you know, people are very into the Browns.
What's this have to do with the Browns now?
Well, so I saw this couple. I mean, I'm all about supporting your team. But I saw this couple, and I think they literally were head to toe Browns. So it was just like support your team day, I guess. I don't know.
Well,
Well,
it's
I mean-
Sunday.
Yeah, that makes them very loyal if they're supporting the Browns.
Honestly, my sister was like, I want you to go up to them and ask them if they like the Steelers.
Take us home.
Maybe
Muff.
you should shop at Hobby Lobby.
Take us
Well,
home.
I can't go on Sunday. You can't get your
That's
Christian
true.
Christian chicken or your Christian cookies.
Now take us home, Muff. Take us.
Yeah, we should probably get
Take
out of
us
here,
home.
That's why she's so cranky.
If you want to get your fill of Snippets with Sam, be sure to subscribe to everything we do on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. Get the bell on, do all the things.
Ding, ding.
I want to
can
end
be-
up on World Star.
Everybody can be our friend, even if Sam doesn't want everyone to be her friend. Just make sure that you tell a friend,
Get back up.
make a friend, be a
friend.
friend.
And don't hold up the line.